What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the COD HQ update for Black Ops 7. Definitely stay tuned. Now in the background we got some gameplay of Havoc Royale. This is a mode that won't be live for too much longer. I mean, they could always bring it back in the future, but it's of course an LTM as a part of Season 4, featuring a ton of goofy modifiers over in Verdansk. Let me know if you guys have been liking this mode down below in the comments. I know the mode also got some adjustments with the recent set of patch notes, so it is playing a bit better than how it was with the launch of Season 4 Reloaded. With that out the way, as of earlier today, Call of Duty did announce a small crossover of sorts with Tony Hawk. We know that Pro Skater 3+4 Reimagined did just officially drop as of yesterday, so to celebrate that, you can actually get a Tony Hawk calling card inside of Black Ops 6 at the beginning of Season 5. All you have to do, which I would recommend doing this ASAP because these promos usually end within around a week, is you have to go ahead and reply to this tweet with your Activision ID and the phrase that you guys can see in the tweet. Once you do that, you should be replied to by the Call of Duty account. It's an automated response, and it'll confirm that you'll be getting that calling card in your inventory on around August the 7th. Now, as I've said many times in the past, Season 5 is going to be pretty important when it comes to Black Ops 7 because although it's going to be an action-packed season for BO6, at least from what we can guess right now, we do know that with the download of Season 5, there is a high chance that a ton of details about BO7 will likely end up being leaked, including information about pre-order bonuses and even the different editions of the game. I also want to thank you for all the support on today's episode of the Bombshell Podcast. We went over quite a bit, especially when it comes to the recent developments around Black Ops 7. There's plenty of rumors and spicy topics that you guys may not have heard too much about. That episode's going to be linked down below in this video's description. So to circle back for a second to the origins of COD HQ, this is of course the current launcher that's been fairly controversial for the last couple of years and was introduced with Modern Warfare 2 2022. And the idea was to make sure that all these new Call of Duties can cross-launch from the same launcher, and would also ensure that with the Call of Duty sharing unified technology, that all these games could almost be seamlessly integrated in a way where developers could share a lot of their work and tools amongst one another, so it would actually improve the development process of future Call of Duty installments. Now, the way I've always looked at it, I think the launcher itself makes sense as it is on console because there isn't a way to boot up a launcher on a console and then, download specific games from there, kind of like the Master Chief Collection. But on PC, I was hoping that COD HQ would be an actual launcher that you open up, kind of like Battle.net or Steam or Epic or so many other ones, and then from there, you can pick and choose what CODs you want inside of your COD HQ launcher. Obviously, it technically works that way, but as of now, COD HQ is still stitched together with Modern Warfare 2 2022, which ironically was criticism that the studio had received with Modern Warfare 2019, as Warzone 1 was attached to that game as well. Now, it does look like, according to rumors, COD HQ isn't going anywhere. As of now, it looks like there are leaks for a Call of Duty as far as 2027 that I believe is going to be developed by Sledgehammer. It remains to be seen if anything will change after that point. Even if there is a reset of some sort with your Warzone inventory in Modern Warfare 4 next year, I don't think that means they're going to get rid of COD HQ, but I guess only time will tell what's going to happen to this launcher. With the launch of Season 4 Reloaded, Black Ops 7 did pop up under the All Games tab, and it simply says coming soon. So it's totally possible at some point this month in July, you'll be able to click that button and maybe it'll give us a QR code we could scan for a free promo reward, or it'll lead to new information about the game, an extra trailer, or the ability to pre-order the game from that launcher. Now, speaking of Modern Warfare 2 for a second, and following the release of the Mid-Season 4 update, a very specific line of information was discovered that I do believe is prepping us for what could be the Black Ops 7 beta. If you're like, wait, what does that mean? Well, according to data miner Reality UK, Activision has plans to separate Modern Warfare 3 and 2 from the COD HQ launcher, and if you currently have those games installed and you actively play them, you're going to have to delete them and reinstall them at some point this summer. Now, of course, take all leaks with a grain of salt. This could be information that is no longer accurate or got modified and changed. Absolutely. But it does seem like before we end up seeing a Black Ops 7 download of any sort, they're going to be detaching Modern Warfare from this application. Now, I'm assuming what that would mean is that you can go download Modern Warfare 2 and 3, but there won't be any access to the COD HQ menu from either of those games. You already can't really seamlessly jump into those games right now anyway. It still cross launches into Modern Warfare 2 or 3. So as far as why they're doing this, I think there could be a number of different reasons. The first may have actually been teased in the recent COD pod, where the communications director, Stephanie Snowden, did address all of the bugs that we noticed with the launch of Season 4, and didn't go into too much detail about how they're going to improve on that in the future, but did promise that some type of infrastructure is being introduced to prevent the type of bugs that we saw with future content drops. Now, that could be related to detaching Modern Warfare, because maybe there's just too much intertwined within COD HQ, and there's a lot of unanticipated bugs that kind of slip their way through QA testing, and by just cleaning up the application where it's just the current game and Warzone, maybe one game before it, that could improve the overall experience. Like I said before though, I'm not a dev or an engineer to know all the facts on how exactly that works, but I'm guessing removing those two old Call of Duty titles could improve something somewhere so that future seasons aren't as broken. Now, just recently on Xbox, some very spicy messages of the day did accidentally go live, which gave us our first glimpse of Black Ops 7 multiplayer. That could be another example of how somehow this was meant to be pushed to the private internal testers of BO7 that have access to the game, I guess, every weekend when they're trying it. Somehow that slipped through the cracks and went live worldwide for people on Xbox. How this happened is, of course, unknown. Call of Duty hasn't addressed it and probably won't, but maybe, like I said before, optimizing COD HQ and kind of removing a little bit of the baggage could ensure just stronger security so that things like this don't happen again in the future. I also think this could connect to the tragedy that happened last summer, where somehow on a jailbroken PS4, people actually broke through Black Ops 6, I believe it was the alpha or the beta, and managed to get their hands on so much content and a preview of what was to come many weeks and even months before we were supposed to see it. This was a very big breach of security, and because of that, they've prevented all preloads from going live on last gen ever since. So whenever there's a brand new content drop, you just won't see a preload on the PS4. Maybe Xbox One, but because of what happened last summer, I think they've really changed the way they operate when it comes to last gen support. So as you guys can probably predict, the launch of Season 5 is going to hold many secrets. At least that's what I could assume, unless they put something in place to secure a lot of the information that's related to Black Ops 7. In a perfect world, it'd be nice if we just get official marketing and a full reveal of the pre-order bonuses, different editions of the game, before all of that likely gets data mined because of the images and info that's out there through COD HQ, and that probably gets posted all over the internet following the August 7th Season 5 update. So you can bet the pre-order page is going to pop up. I'm betting that if that does leak with the Season 5 launch, then we'll probably all be sitting on that info for about a week. We'll all be analyzing it, reacting to it, and then maybe by Gamescom, or hopefully before that, so maybe the middle of August, you'll end up seeing what could be an official direct showcase or some type of sit-down and announcement where then they're like, hey guys, pre-orders are live as of today. Now, if you want to hear more about what could be the next gameplay showcase, a possible direct, and even COD Next, I went over all of that in a recent video I'll leave linked down below. Now, I do understand where you guys are coming from, though. The fact that Black Ops 7 is there in the COD HQ launcher right now could even indicate that before Season 5, that button will do something, or maybe pre-orders go live before the 5th season, and there could be a small title update we have to download that contains the bonuses for pre-ordering BO7 that we'll have to end up installing at some point before the end of the month. That would be the best case scenario, honestly. Now, another thing worth mentioning is that pre-orders have really never gone live later than August. Has there been a game here or there where pre-orders might have opened up in September? I believe so. Maybe Vanguard was the game where that happened, but for the most part, pre-orders typically go live within the summer. So August should be the time where we finally end up seeing what all the additions are of the game. Now, as a bit of a timeline of what to expect with different COD HQ changes, we actually got a pretty detailed blog last summer. It was a couple of weeks before COD Next for Black Ops 6. They went ahead and detailed exactly the kind of updates that COD HQ would be receiving before the Black Ops 6 beta. So I believe it was during Season 5 Reloaded of Modern Warfare 3, they ended up throwing out a pretty big update we had to download, which really optimized and reorganized the COD HQ launcher and shrunk the overall size of the application in preparation for the beta. After COD Next, we all downloaded the beta in our COD HQ launcher, in which we then uninstalled that component once the beta had concluded. But then right before the launch of BO6, there was also a big patch that went out, which actually overhauled the interface of COD HQ. I doubt we'll get much of a change to how everything is laid out. There's a current rumor that we're going to see a much more classic look to the menus with Modern Warfare 4. Maybe that doesn't impact Black Ops 7, but I would expect some type of tweak like that to just prepare for the BO7 launch. Then the game will be out, and then at that point, when we're we're in the preseason window, you'll have to cross-launch into Warzone. There won't be a seamless integration with Black Ops 7 and Warzone until Season 1, and then when the first season rolls around, you'll be able to boot up Warzone instantly from your Black Ops 7 menu, as you could do right now with BO6. But to be clear, changes are possible. They could, of course, treat COD HQ much differently this fall than how they treated it last year with BO6, especially with them detaching Modern Warfare 2 and 3. That could mean some serious changes that we just don't know about yet, and in that case, we'll have to wait for a separate blog at some point this summer or before a COD Next to really learn exactly what's going on. But as you've heard me talk about many times in the past, ever since the release of BO6, I really haven't been bothered by the existence of COD HQ. Of course, every now and again when there's bugs and weird leaks, yeah, it gets frustrating to know that everything is unified, so it's leading to problems like that. But when you think about the pros and cons of COD HQ, I would just hope that the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to devs being able to help each other, but the cons themselves have not gone unnoticed. The thing is, once you get past the landing screen of COD HQ, you get to a classic main menu where it lays out campaign, multiplayer, ranked, zombies, and that's great. They could just build on that and make that even better with BO7, then I'm totally cool with it, especially with the rumor that I mentioned earlier, which is that MW4 allegedly is going to go even more classic than Black Ops when it comes to their next Infinity Ward menu as well. I also get it could be a bit tacky when you boot up COD HQ and see ads for Black Cell and bundles. I actually understand more of the advertisements for the next COD, like the editions or being able to pre-order. That I understand, but I totally get it when it comes to seeing ads right in your face as you boot up the launcher. That's really what you see with most launchers anyway. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the COD HQ update for Black Ops 7 and everything we know so far? I figured I would put together this video considering I've seen lots of comments asking about how the new Call of Duty will impact the current launcher and if they're going to ditch the current launcher because of the recent rumor that they're detaching Modern Warfare 2 and 3. I don't think that's going to be the case. If anything, they'll just try to improve the launcher as much as possible to make sure that the grand amount of leaks that we saw with BO6 or even Modern Warfare don't exist again with BO7. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.